Doesn't show up on my phone, but it shows up on here. Weird. That really is actually quite weird. Didn't mean to actually start it quite yet. So we're just going to only review this one because, well, I don't know what the fuck's going on. But my throat's been, well, I don't even know how to explain it. Chelsea got me sick last weekend. That's why I haven't really streamed much of last week at all, thanks to her. She was touching literally freaking, not everything, but like everything that I would touch. And it's just like, seriously. So she kept touching things in my room when I specifically told her not to. She ended up getting me sick. Hi. So I've been I'm more better today than I was, like, I don't know. Friday, I think. Yeah, give me 1 minute. So basically, I've been like blowing my nose and coughing things up for quite a week now. So, like I said, thanks to Chelsea, pain in my fucking ass, and she asks me, "How did I get you sick, bitch? You kept touching things in my room when I told you not to. That's how you got me sick." I'm dead. So, this is gonna be literally the only thing I'm gonna be reviewing. It's not gonna be like a long one like it used to, because I'm still getting over of being, well, sick. Do not ask me about my background, please. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm surprised I can actually even talk after a little and having like, I think I took like a 3 or 4 hour nap earlier. Didn't think I was that tired, damn. But it happens. I also have someone who is a singer, who also plays piano. Now he has Twitch, but he also does have YouTube. His name is Matt in a Hat, and he did a amazing almost 3 or 4 hours, I think it was almost 3 hour stream, on Twitch last night of himself singing live playing the piano. That was amazing. Because I know he's one of those people who are nervous when it comes to singing on stream. Like my other Australian friend Sammy. They're both really good singers. Welcome.
Hi, how you doing, Silver?
I'm alright. Just been coughing up things and blowing my nose, so I'm a
no.
lot better today since Friday, I guess.
Oh, I'm sorry to
Um,
hear that.
yeah, you can blame Chelsea on that because she, like I said, kept touching everything in my room, and she was sick last weekend or the
Ooh.
weekend before, whatever it was. I kept telling her not to touch things.
No
She's
good
like,
stuff. Oh, man.
yeah, I'm like, I do not even dare touch this because I will bind your hands with duct tape. And yet she touched them anyway, and my coworker goes, you should buy a hazmat suit for her so when she comes over, she's gotta wear it. And I'm like, you know what? That's a good idea.
Right?
So I'm only gonna
What?
be reviewing this one just because of, well, my throat and my nose. Um, so I don't know how long that's gonna be. But I was also explaining that I've got a friend named Matt in the Hat who's from Australia who did a beautiful singing job last night on his stream.
Oh, cool.
Um, I do. I can send you a link to a video of that stream because he posts them on his YouTube channel, so I can easily send you one if you want to listen to it.
Sure,
Um,
sure. Or
he's
yeah,
very funny.
you can send it to my Facebook. That'd be fine. I can check it out there.
Yeah, he's a really good person. He's really funny, but oh my god, he's like amazing. Like
Oh, yeah, and a good singer too, huh?
he's a really good singer. He also plays the piano too. So
Oh,
it's
cool.
like, he put like a bonus in there last night. I was like,
Oh, nice.
my face was like, what? Because the bonus that he posted or that he added into his stream
Oh, cool.
was just so different because I'm like, wait, you rap? And he's like, kind of. I'm like, that's a pretty good, kind of rap that you got there, boy.
Yeah.
Like, damn. So,
So,
yeah.
I can explain partly why the title of it's called "There's Copper in Them There Hills." Outside of Jerome,
Hmm.
there's a place called the Vulture Mine. The Vulture Mine has been in place, been working for many years, at least over 80 years. Um, and there have been miners here and there that for some reason have died mysteriously. Some of them were even admitted with injuries at the what at the time was called the Verde Valley, uh, hospital for Jerome. But then it turned into it was both a mental facility and a hospital, and then it was turned into the hotel. And ever since Jerome Grand Hotel, they've been haunted. And
Mm.
my new wife and I were there back in 2016, I believe it was, and it's definitely haunted. I mean, there is no question. Um, I wanted to mention to them and to you folks that I had 16 pairs of fully loaded batteries that I wanted to use for my digital camera at the time. And those batteries all died. They were all emptied. Now,
Right.
this is weird. My mother calls me out of nowhere and she says, Michael, do you remember about the Native Americans that died in that area? I said, oh my Lord, like over 1,000 of them, because they had back in the day when the U.S. Army, just after the American Civil War in the late 1870s and 80s, even before Arizona became a state, because it was still part of New Mexico territory. There was lots of battles, skirmishes between the Apache, the Zuni, some of the other Pima, a lot of the tribes in the area against the U.S. Army, and they were bloody, and there were a lot of them that died in those hills, and it's the reason why there's so many there. Yeah.
Hold
Okay.
on. I want to
Yeah.
do this on stream because I've been getting calls all freaking day. I'm curious on what this is.
Yeah. And I'm so
Hello?
glad that you have it. I totally I totally
Hello?
watched. Yeah, I totally watched the
Hi, my
last
name
thing
is
you
Ryan
sent me.
Parker, and thanks a lot for taking this call. How are you doing today?
You can easily shut up and not call me. Tamer? Um, yeah, I knew you were going to do that. I did notice when you were premiering that earlier, it said stream unavailable. Like, what happened? Was there a video in there or something that was like copyrighted? Because usually that's what happens is when it comes to
Mhm.
copyright.
Yeah. Mhm.
Do not flicker. Also, do not mind my background. There's gonna be a lot of laughing in my background because two people, that you know of, they cannot be dark sense of humor with each other. Of whatever the fuck. Um, my brain is just discombobulated. I also had a very, very stressful day at work today. So it was like my brain just does not want to work properly because this person who I'm training at my job for 4 weeks now decided to tell me no when I told her to do something.
Wow.
And I was like, uh, 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 uh. So I go, no, you have to do it. I had to repeat myself like 7 freaking times. She was like
Oh
standing
my.
right next to me, and I kept telling her like, you have to go grab a carriage. And she's like, no. And I'm like, no, you do. And she finally went and got one, but like, oof. I've got patience, but I've got patience to a point. What the fuck is happening over there? Jesus Christ. Um, the freaking laughing between my mother and my brother. Oh dear God, it's entertaining. But I'm also trying to do this, so it's like, oh fuck. Um,
Hi, Mom.
yeah, so I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, just because I don't know for sure, but I think our supervisor is coming tomorrow. And so I'm hoping that once he knows everything what the fuck's been going on with this girl that I've been training, oh, I hope that he has to do something with her. Because,
Maybe he'll take
dear
her away
God,
from your guidance. Yeah.
it's ridiculous because, like, I can't tell you how many times I've repeated myself to her this entire time I've been training her. Too many.
Hey,
Too many times.
yeah. Did you want your uncle to come on? He said, "Hey, you should let me come on one of these streams so I can be critical of my own video. I'm my harshest critic." We should have him
That
on.
would be entertaining for
That'd be
sure.
awesome. I would love to talk to your uncle. That'd be great. Yeah. That'd be awesome.
That would be really, really entertaining on my end, to be honest with you. I'm
Oh, not
obviously
today.
not today.
Oh, he says I'm playing
Playing
Xbox. Okay.
Xbox.
Xbox.
Why do I
I don't
feel
even
like
play
I
video games
should?
anymore. I stopped playing video games. Oh, he says my only day I've
Fair,
got off from
fair enough.
podcasting. Okay, fair enough.
That
Okay.
is fair. Dear God, I feel like they're getting louder and louder. Um, so it's like I have to fucking be louder over them. So I have Xbox, but I don't know what games you play.
Oh,
Send me something in like
stopped a long time ago.
text.
Oh, he says, but if we can set it up for one, I'd be down to come on. I'm playing UFC 5 fighting people.
Oh, that's
Oh,
funny.
okay.
Um, I do have to let you guys know that yesterday I did a recording of myself singing
Oh,
after like God knows how long. So it's uploaded on my main channel, and in the video I didn't put it in the title because I wanted people just to hear it. My mother scared the shit out of me yesterday while I was recording,
wow.
so I left it in the recording.
Yeah. And the booze there says he also plays Red Dead 2. Yeah, I have a friend of mine, Nemesis of Eden. He plays Red Dead Redemption 2. Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
a few
Not
people who
bad.
do, but I do not have that game, and I was never really interested.
Well,
I
I just
have
kind of watch
Diablo
them.
though.
I don't play video games anymore, unfortunately, like I said.
Yeah,
I do my streaming and stuff. So that's
alright.
my thing.
Let's.
I'm retired and I can do that. So, well, you ready to
Yeah,
play it? Are you ready to play it, sweetie?
yes, I
Girls.
am.
All right, let's go.
Everybody, and welcome back to For the Booze.
For the booze.
For the Booze.
May I say, you're looking mighty fine today.
Thank you.
So hot.
Ooh, you looking pretty good yourself, babe.
So hot. But we are back. We are finally going to do this location. It has been requested
Yay.
2 times now.
I know.
2. So, I mean, we usually do it off of 1.
Yeah.
So since there's 2, we're going to do it.
Now 2.
Yeah. This goes out to your friend Lindsay
That's
and
right.
to Mikey, who both asked us to do this. We are headed down to the desert,
Ugh.
to the dusty, snake-ridden, lizard-filled, hot, just hot
Yeah.
Arizona.
Yep.
Arizona. I've never been there.
That's
I'm
so
just going by
hot.
what I've done.
Yeah.
And we are going to check out the Jerome Grand
Mm.
Hotel.
I'm excited for
Still
this
gives
one.
me
It's
shivers.
It's an interesting place. There's a lot of information about this place. This was
always
honestly,
a good thing.
this was a very refreshing one to do because lately, I mean, if you watch these videos and listen to this podcast, you know, like I've been struggling.
Mm-hmm.
I've been having a hard time finding, information about
Yeah.
places, but this was not like that at all. I found so much stuff. I mean, this could have been a super long episode.
Yeah.
Very long.
I know a little bit about it. Lindsay was telling me like it was something before it was a hotel, and like
It
we'll get into
was.
all that.
There was a couple
but
things before it was a
yeah.
hotel.
So I know a little bit about this one already.
Oh,
I know.
what was it before a hotel?
They'll find out.
Let's jump into this one.
Okay, I'm ready.
Jerome is a town in the Black Hills of Yavapai County. I think that's how you pronounce that. I'm pretty sure. In the U.S. state of Arizona. Founded in the late 19th century on Cleopatra Hill overlooking the Verde Valley, Jerome is more than 5,000 feet above sea level. So this is like a mountain desert place.
Oh, okay.
It's on, like, I know I kind of went into this kind of giving it some crap, but it's actually kind of nice. It's
like a nice area.
Think of it as if we looked outside here, but instead of green, you saw desert.
Just like a deserty mountain.
The crap mountains.
Okay.
It looks like that. People won't understand that, but
Yeah.
you will. It looks like that, but maybe a little more deserty.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll throw up a picture of what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, for anybody who doesn't know, we're in the town we live in is literally just surrounded by mountains. We're
And-
in like a bowl of mountains,
Yeah.
and then there's these lush green, beautiful mountains, like 3/4 of the way around, and then the other like little bit is just these much browner, a
It's
lot
more
less trees.
It's more deserty.
Yeah.
It's a bit more desert.
So we call them the crap mountains.
Yeah. But that was before we actually went out and
This
ventured
is
to see
true.
them, because we went out to see them. We were like, whoa, this is actually really cool.
This is super cool. Yeah.
The Hohokam were the first people known to have lived and farmed near Jerome from 700 to 1125.
Wow.
This place goes way back, farther
Wow.
than I thought.
Okay.
Now later, long before the arrival of Europeans, it is likely that other native peoples mined the united Verde ore body for the colorful copper-bearing minerals malachite and azurite.
That's
Hmm.
some beautiful colors,
Interesting.
isn't
Pretty
it?
sure we
There,
have some
Silver?
upstairs. The first Europeans to arrive in the area were the Spanish conquistadors. At the time, the area was part of New Mexico, and the Spaniards often organized silver and gold prospecting expeditions in the area.
Cortez.
In 1585, Spanish explorers made note of the ore, but they didn't mine it because their government had sent them to find gold and silver, not copper.
Mm.
So they knew it was there.
Yeah.
The area became part of Mexico when Mexico gained its independence from Spain in 1821, and part of the United States by terms of the 1848 Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, which concluded the Mexican-American War. The war's major consequence was the Mexican secession of the northern territories of Alta California and Santa Fe de Nuevo Mexico to the United States. I nailed that.
Good job.
The Jerome Grand Hotel in Arizona, USA, is a historic landmark which towers above the Verde Valley. This place is old.
Mm.
Well, the hotel itself isn't old. The building is.
Well, the building and definitely the area.
But the hotel is a lot newer than you would think.
Hmm.
The hotel, I mean, I don't want to give it away. We were both already, we weren't adults. We weren't quite teenagers.
Okay.
Well, I was, but you weren't. The hotel hasn't been around that long. It's really weird.
Interesting.
Now, Angus McKinnon and Morris A. Ruffner filed the first copper mining claims at this location in 1876. In 1880, Frederick A. Triddle, the governor of Arizona Territory, and Frederick F. Thomas, a mining engineer from San Francisco, bought these claims from the original owners. In 1883, with the aid of Eastern financiers including James A. McDonald and Eugene Jerome of New York City, they created the United Verde Copper Company. The small adjacent mining camp on Cleopatra Hill was named Jerome in honor of Eugene Jerome, who became the company secretary. All this is going to make sense why I'm telling everybody this.
Okay.
It will make sense in the
Okay.
end. United Verde built a small smelter at Jerome and constructed wagon roads from it to Prescott, the Verde Valley, and the Atlantic and Pacific Railroad depot to Ash Fork. However, transport by wagon was very expensive, and in late 1884, after the price of copper had fallen by 50%, the company ceased all operations at the site.
50%. Wow.
I thought the mining didn't go on as into the modern day as you would think.
Okay.
It stopped quite a long time ago.
I mean, and with a drastic drop like that, I could absolutely see it just like halting.
And this
That's
is
crazy.
especially at the time. This is the town's, I'm not going to say it's its main business. It is
Mhm.
the town's business.
Right.
This is all this town revolved around.
Hmm.
So when mining went away, you could only imagine what happened.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like when the Space Center went away from the area
Yeah,
that we
but
lived in for a while.
think about this at a much smaller scale.
Yeah.
And this town was once, I'm going to get into it, but this town was once a very bustling town.
Hmm.
And it's not anymore.
That's sad.
Now, 4 years later, William A. Clark, who had made a fortune in mining and commercial ventures in Montana, bought the United Verde properties and, among other improvements, enlarged the smelter. He's the one that we want to pay attention to.
Okay.
The United Verde Hospital was constructed in 1926 to replace the old hospital constructed in 1970, when a fault shift due to blasting caused significant damage to the hospital's south wing as well as the Jerome High School.
Oh.
Once patients and equipment were moved to the new hospital in January 1927, the wing was removed with some major remodeling, became the clubhouse building, and still stands minus the south wing. The Jerome High School, however, was beyond repair and torn down. An additional major building, the United Verde Apartments, was missed by 1 foot from being damaged by the same fault.
1 foot?
1 foot, one
That's
single
like
foot.
12 inches.
I wonder how they even
Wow.
measure that, honestly.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's what I was wondering when I was reading this originally was, how did they measure it was just 1 foot? I don't know.
right.
Maybe they just went up to the last point of damage. I don't know.
Maybe, I
Maybe
don't
I'm
know.
focusing on it too much. I don't know. Now, the strange location for the hospital was due to the known stability of the ground. Not wanting another incident like before, the building plans are dated back to February 1926, and the building was opened in January 1927. It was a very quick.
Yeah.
This isn't the same building. It's a brand new building.
Wow. That was fast.
The new United Verde Hospital took full advantage of the cutting-edge technology of its time. It was both fireproof and immune to earthquakes, which I find a marveling feat for the time,
Yeah.
honestly. Now, it also featured patient call lights, balconies, sun porches, emergency backup lighting, Otis self-service elevator, ice-making room, laboratories, x-ray, major and minor surgical facilities, men's, women's, and children's wards, private and semi-private rooms, blanket warming closets, and housing for some staff.
That is a lot for the 1920s.
I was like, what is an Otis service elevator? Do you know what that is?
I have no idea.
It's a regular elevator,
What?
and it's based here in Utah.
No way.
And they have been around for like 120 years.
God.
So this is an elevator like we think of an elevator.
Yeah.
Which I was like, wow,
Wow.
that's incredible. I thought it was going to be some like old timey, like you had to pull them up by a rope.
Yeah. Like an old dumbbell waiter
But
or
it's not.
something. Yeah.
It's not. And I guess they're pretty renowned for being an extremely high-end reliable elevator.
Wow. That's amazing.
And they still use the same elevator, I believe, to this day.
That's so cool.
In 1930, it was considered the most modern hospital in Arizona and possibly the western states. William Clark used this as just another marketing tool to attract the best employees, good housing, great schools, and top medical care available. So William Clark, I read all that in the beginning because he is the one who basically turned this into a state-of-the-art facility.
Wow.
And he was a rich guy from Montana.
Good on you, sir.
And this hospital, from what I understand, was I don't know why they said just in the western states. It really sounds like it may have been. It's just been the best hospital
Especially
in the country.
for the time, too.
Yeah, I mean,
the
it's
time is like the full hospital amenities now.
even though I saw like elevator and stuff, I saw like patient call lights, and I was like, was that even available then?
Right.
Because that seems very high tech for the time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, William A. Clark was a successful businessman in diverse areas. Now, Clark was one of America's copper kings, and although characterized as a man of, quote, not of tender conscience, he was truly a visionary. He was not a nice guy.
Mm.
Yeah, he's rich. Now, he built a closely held financial empire based on mining that not only rivaled any of his contemporaries, but withstood the financial panics of the day. Clark developed the United Verde mine in Jerome. His influence in Arizona continues to be felt through his namesake, the town of Clarksdale. Clarkdale is because of him.
Wow.
And that's I don't know if you know Clarkdale, but
I've heard of
yeah, of
Clarkdale,
course. That's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, I mean, his name is still around in Arizona today.
Wow. That's amazing.
Now, the building, when constructed, was originally equipped with 3 boilers. The 50 horsepower Kewaunee low pressure steam boiler for heat is actually still being used today.
What?
That's the only reason I left that in
Illinois.
here.
Oh my god.
Because I was like, dang, man, that must be one hell of a piece of equipment.
Yeah.
That actually always fascinates me of like how people still to this day still uses like what was used back in the day.
Older systems. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So weird.
They still have, if you visit, when you visit the hotel, you still see the Otis elevator. It still officially works, but it doesn't go to the basement level for whatever reason. I guess because either because they do it as part of the tour and they don't want to bring it down there, or the way they have it is just go up the 3 stories to the top. So it goes from the
Mhm.
ground floor to the top and then comes back down. But then you have a stairwell. The stairwell looks like something right out of Victorian style. And that's where I was able to take a picture of this lady completely dressed in Victorian style clothing coming down the stairwell to the front of the near the gift shop. And they'll probably show that too. But we did take a picture of Claude Harvey himself, one of the first people to run as what they call the elevator man for the Otis, and he was right inside it. So it was just open, and he's right there. And then we found the cigar man who was in the gift shop, the ghost. We call him Cigar Man. He was smoking his cigar. You could see the smoke in front of my camera, and you know, Suzanne always can tell when these ghosts are in the vicinity. So she said, "Oh, he's coming over," and I said, "I'm allergic to smoke." Secondhand
Mm,
smoke really bugs the heck out of me. But for some reason, it didn't feel quite like secondhand smoke, even though I know it was coming from a cigarette or a cigar. And
uh,
this is a non-smoking gift shop. The hotel itself is
right.
completely non-smoking, and yet there's smoke in the gift shop area coming right at me, and I took a picture of it. So yeah, it's just
That's cool.
yeah, it's very
Um,
yeah.
I do, I do pray for your episode that it uploads without issues this time.
Yeah, well, I told you about the asylum. Well, hopefully he'll mention it. That he'll mention the asylum restaurant, which is on the second floor, because there is two places there where ghosts go back and forth between
Fuck.
what they call portals, and they're both huge, like these very huge mirrors that are in the hallway. And
Mm,
literally, my wife sensed and saw at least two of them go through that huge mirror, like just go, like yeah. So
I do
hopefully
want
they'll
to
mention
show you
that.
guys that my banner or my backdrop is up now.
Oh, it is now? Oh,
Well,
good. Okay.
yeah, it's on the thing that
Yeah.
so-called stranger sent me as the gift, whatever. I don't know why he called himself a stranger. It's weird. But
Right.
yeah, my Viking backdrop. I need to get one for like the Ghost Channel. I don't know what though, but I need to
Um,
get one.
use some matte, basic matte that has like ghostly colors on it, like grays, blacks, whites, something like that.
I was thinking of like a cool like scene because like I'm really hoping by the end of the month that if um I can actually have like a desk and everything that I can have my stuff on. I have a TV that I use for like a second monitor or something, or well, at least a bigger screen.
Cool.
So like I can probably try to find a backdrop for the Ghost Channel that would make sense for this.
Yeah.
I have a
Green
green
screen.
screen.
Leslie says
Okay,
about green
hold on.
screen. Okay.
I have a green screen because that's where the rod came from. Was this green screen that um so-called stranger sent me? Basically that green screen though, I didn't think was like for one thing too freaking big. Second of all, it's heavy. And this thing is like taller
Yeah.
than
Love you
me.
too. Love you too.
My backdrop is like so light. It's lighter than my green screen.
Oh wow.
Well, I can't tell
And
you when I put a green screen up how difficult that was. Even though
yeah.
I'm like 5'3".
Yeah.
So like dear God. Um
So just to add to your uncle's uh, video here, the
mm,
Hohokam outside of Phoenix have these ruins that are called the Casa Grande ruins. They've been there for a long time, of course, since the Hohokam first came to the territory. And they're a large site that people can visit. They can walk through it. They can learn about the history of the Hohokam. The Hohokam were one of the first tribes that actually helped to create what they called canals before they actually went in, and then later man-made, to connect to all the farms, cotton fields, everything that are inside the state of Arizona proper, right in the central area there. Um, there's also a beautiful church which is called San Xavier del Bac, which is located just outside of Tucson before you get to Phoenix, and it's a gorgeous 15th, 16th century uh, adobe church, which has been out there. It is actually known as the oldest church in the United States, San
mm,
Xavier del Bac. or Javier del Bac, if you want to pronounce it by the Spanish way. But it's available to see as well. There's a lot of great places up there. Don't forget also that Sedona, which is not very far from Jerome, has what they call new wave portals. These are places that people, for whatever inexplicable reasons, go through these portals and they enter different time frames and then they come back out. Suzanne and I went through a similar one. We went through what was called like a Wild West 1800s portal where we saw a few actual Native Americans on horseback before we came back to reality. It's really bizarre. So that's a
Uh,
future one if he wants to try that, is the town of Sedona. Yeah.
that would
A
be
lot of
interesting.
crazy, interesting things there. Yes. Very
Something
cool.
just dawned on me. I meant to ask you, did
Yeah.
you at all receive any email from Mac the human?
Mac the Human? Um,
Yeah.
Not that I'm aware of. Why?
Because I remember when I gave you, or when I gave him your email that day, he said that he sent you an email, but like you never responded. I'm like, I don't know. So that's weird.
My email is tied into Suzanne's computer, so uh
Hmm.
I don't read through my emails. But yeah, maybe if Mac is in still if there, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
will have to ask him on like if he actually spelled it correctly or anything.
sure. All right, let's continue.
Yeah,
Let's go ahead, Silver.
right.
They still use it to this day.
That's crazy.
Phelps Dodge Mining Corp. acquired the United Verde Jerome mine holdings in 1935 and continued to operate the United Verde Hospital until it closed in 1950. So this is what I'm saying. This is when the hospital was maintained fully furnished for approximately 20 years, after which Phelps Dodge knew it would never be used as a hospital in the future.
Mhm.
I wanted to get through that because in 1953, the mining left the town. It just stopped and left,
What?
which I find, I don't know why. I don't really know why. I think they just stopped copper mining, like you weren't allowed to. I don't know. But this town, I thought I left it in here, at one point during its heyday, had like 4,500 people that lived in it. And then by the end, it has like 400.
Yeah.
So this went from a giant,
Wow.
like not
That is a
giant, but
drastic
but it
drop.
went from like a big bustling town to like a ghost town.
Mhm. I mean, that's
Because
like 4,000 people.
yeah, because the
Just
mining
poof.
dried up. But they maintained it fully. They left everything in it and kept it maintained,
Mhm.
because I think they thought they were going to either sell it or reopen it as a hospital again.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever did though. Now, during its time as the United Verde Hospital, an estimated 9,000 deaths occurred. However, no known records are present, so that number has yet to be validated.
Hmm.
Most of the furnishings were removed in 1970 and 1980s. And Phelps Dodge would over time hire a live-in caretaker or lease it to a family just to keep it occupied and safe from vandals. Now, after the suicide of Manoa Hofpayer, or I can't say that, the last caretaker in the 1980s, who was found hanging in the engineer's room, the building was boarded up and watched over by the local police and small staff, still at the Phelps Dodge headquarters in Jerome. So that's
Wow.
30 years. They kept it open, furnished, and made sure somebody was living in it, taking care of it.
Mhm.
Why? I have no idea. Why would you do that?
I don't
It costs money.
know.
That costs money. There's still upkeep. If
Right.
everything's
Yeah,
still on,
absolutely.
you could it's a full hospital.
Mhm.
The Jerome Grand Hotel is not small, and it's that building. It's huge.
That's crazy.
So I just can't wrap my head around why they would have done this, honestly.
Like when it's not a functioning hotel, or I mean
Hospital,
hospital.
yeah.
Yeah.
But how weird would it be to live there?
Yeah. Like in a ginormous place that still has like hospital
A
stuff
hospital
in it.
where they think 9,000 people died.
Record keeping, people. Record keeping.
This is old mining town, though. I'm not surprised. Now, while some vandalism did occur over time, this added an incentive for liability reasons for Phelps Dodge to sell the dilapidated building. In December 1993, an offer to purchase was made by Larry Alter of Phoenix, Arizona, and possession was taken May 29th, 1994. Larry Alter still owns and operates the Jerome Grand Hotel. This hotel
Wow.
has only been there since 94.
Wow.
I was like 13 when they made it the Grand Hotel from a hospital.
That's
30th
crazy.
I
anniversary
thought
this
the
year.
hotel was going to go way back,
Like way back.
Nice.
Yeah.
but they didn't. I mean,
The hospital sure did.
yeah, it's weird. But I don't know. I just, for some reason, I thought when everybody was like, do the Jerome Grand Hotel, it was going to be like this 100-year-old hotel. I understand it's a 100-year-old building.
Right.
I expected it to be like a hotel.
A
the
running
whole time.
hotel the whole time. Yeah.
In 2003, an added fixture to the building was and still is parked in the hotel garage. The 1928 Springfield Rolls-Royce Phantom 1 Lonsdale has been driven to Phoenix, Flagstaff, Prescott, and Sedona and is now only used for parades or shows.
Wow.
Yes.
I do have to admit that as a person who loves old classic cars, that was actually pretty cool to see.
Yeah, that's great to see that. And like you said, it's only been there for the last 20 years. So,
But
yeah, and people are allowed to go down there to see it in its own garage, to visit it as part of a package where you stay at the property and you can take tours. There are ghost tours. There is the tour of the car. There's a tour of the abandoned building, which used to house all the, uh, the mining equipment and everything that's there. They've cleaned that out. They're starting to rebuild that, refurbish it, turn it into something else. Last time we were there, like I said, we were there about 8 years ago, and then they were just starting to make some repairs, and demolishing one old place and building something new. So they were doing something there. Um, yeah, it's and like he says, it's right on a hill. There is only one road, one that goes up to it and one that comes down from it. And that's it. Just one road. And it just goes up there and it comes down. And you get this. Here's the weird thing about it, and I'm sure people have told your uncle about this, and his wife. When you come up the road, you do feel like it's like you're entering another world. It's really like you're just kind of going into something you have no idea what it is, but you feel it. You literally
Hmm.
feel it like all over you. It's just this an uneasy aura that just kind of hits you from all sides. And like my mother said, there were a lot of Native Americans that died in that area. So that would make total sense if there was a lot of spirits, angry or indifferent or happy spirits or whatever they are, that inhabit that entire area surrounding the hotel itself. And now that he said that 9,000 people who died, well, there you go. There's a lot of spirits there that are unaccounted for and were just left there.
oh, look at that. I
More
mean,
likely. And
honestly,
yeah,
I love
and
history and everything,
of
let
course.
alone when they mentioned about someone living in a hospital when it wasn't even being ran.
When it wasn't unoccupied, yeah, when it was unoccupied
Yeah,
and
I
guarding it.
can't do
Oh,
that.
no,
No.
no, no, no. You could not. No. I even told Suzanne
Mm-mm.
when we went to see it, I said, honey, we might spend one night here if we could. I wish we could have, but we didn't. But but one night is it. That would have been it. We probably would have already left the next morning. Yeah. But
Like,
if you expect me to live there permanently to watch over it and everything, no way. You couldn't pay me enough money to do it. It's too haunted.
no.
It's too
Yeah,
haunted. You just couldn't
that
do it.
is a definite no from me because, like I said, I got patience and everything. I got limits to myself. That's a no for me.
Yeah.
Dragons, maybe, but me,
Don't my one bit of advice, and I know I told your uncle this, don't
Mm.
piss off Claude Harvey, the elevator man. Do not piss him off. You saw what almost happened with Zach Baggins and his cameraman.
Hey,
Almost got his
hey,
head taken off.
mind
So
you, I'm
Yeah.
one of those people who hates being in a hospital because
I
when
understand.
I got my or had my kidney stone, was it like a freaking year or two ago? I was like already giving my arm out, like, just take my blood, everything what you need. Just get it over and done with. Like, I hate hospitals, okay?
It's so claustrophobic. It really
It
is. Now,
is.
one other good example of claustrophobic is if you ever visit Alcatraz and you visit the prison there on the island, you walk
Mm,
through that, because I went through a tour, and you walk through that, you feel that claustrophobia. You feel it. Even though a lot of it's been crumbling away and so forth, it is haunted. And I'm telling you, it just, you get this closed in feeling for sure. Because I'm sure, yeah, it's a prison. It used to be a prison. But I mean,
right.
you get closed in when you're on the tour and you're walking through the places they show you. The D block is the most haunted. The D wing, they call it, is the most haunted spot of the entire prison. It's just insanely haunted. And yeah, I mean, it's just something you definitely your uncle should pursue too, if he hasn't done it yet. Alcatraz, because it
All I
is
can say is good
absolutely
luck.
crazy nuts. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy nuts. But yeah, if you want to go back, we can.
They
Oh,
bought this old Rolls Royce, and it's sweet.
that is so cool.
And it's kind of like the mascot of the hotel.
Wow.
It's really neat. It's really
It is cool.
such a nice car.
It is.
The car, in its original condition for the most part, and sports a Brewster body. It has just under 93,000 miles and was made in America. Rolls-Royce produced cars in Springfield, Massachusetts for 10 years, saving import fees on their cars from England and providing the U.S. with the steering wheel on the, quote, correct side.
Ah. Okay.
That's an American-made Rolls-Royce out of
Yeah.
Springfield. It's
Wow.
so neat. Now, the hotel didn't come without challenges, of course. Jerome was just not that busy in 94 and very seasonal on top of that. The beginning of Hill Street, leaving Highway 89A to the hotel, starts out as a two-way, single-lane road and located one level above the sometimes busy Main Street, where 99% of the shops and our sometimes open restaurants were located.
That's a beautiful
Now, the
restaurant.
Palace Restaurant, now Haunted Hamburger, was opened in 1994 and is located across from Hill Street. This was the first restaurant serving lunch and dinner to have dependable hours and was the first to start attracting people. So there was like nothing.
Haunted hamburger?
Yeah, they call it the Haunted Hamburger. And people go there, and I think there are some like accounts of people saying it's haunted. It's an old mining town, so this doesn't really surprise me.
Yeah.
Oh,
We've
boy.
done mining towns and stuff like that before, and there
Silver,
always just
I need to
seems
step away.
be
Can you
this-
pause it for just a
A
minute?
lot of people
I need
died.
to step away for just a minute. Thank you. Haunted hamburger. I'll be right back. Sorry, anyone waiting there. I'm sorry. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. I'm not gonna say this out loud. What I can see is, I think between Dragon and him, they're both like really, really into this, and it's just really hard for me too. Not just for you, but it's like it's hard for me, you, Abe. I think Sammy too. I don't know. Sammy hasn't been around, and I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to get a hold of him. Because he just like hasn't said a word. So I don't know what happened. Huh? What the fuck? I just heard a weird ass giggle like near the room. and I don't know from who that was, but that was mm-mm. Sometimes when I hear
There we
my
go.
family
Sorry
members
about
giggling, it's weird.
that.
Come up with like the weirdest laughs I've ever fucking heard in my life, and I would be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. Well, just to catch up here. So, your uncle
That's
said, I think I'm going to get a green screen for Halloween. He has a lot of places to cover, so maybe one day he will do it. That'd be great, sir, if you can do the town of Sedona.
you.
Very cool.
You heard that too? That
I
little,
did.
that little weird ass giggle. That was my brother.
That was your brother?
That was my fucking
I
brother
heard
that
him when
giggled
he,
like that.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. And he says we have not. Hey, I bet living in a hospital is great for medical care, huh? Yeah, yeah. What was that? I heard that too. He heard that. Okay. Yeah, I did too. I just had to use the bathroom
You
for a
fucking
minute.
kid.
The restroom, and I hear this giggle, and it's okay. All right. I thought
Yeah,
you were laughing at me. Okay.
it's my brother's weird giggling. Sometimes he laughs like a little girl, and it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like I can easily hear him do that so loud and clear, and I'm just like, what the actual hell?
Now, did you say is your brother older than you, or are you older than him?
Yes, he's older than me by 3 years,
3 years. Okay.
and he acts like he doesn't with a lot of things. But mind you, it's still weird to me when he asks me. Yes, him. I can't tell you for all the years he's been doing some weird ass shit that I'm
Kev.
just like, are
Yeah,
you
he's
fucking
Kev.
for
Yeah, Kev. Yeah.
Oh my god. There was fucking one day I'm like down like I kept coming downstairs, which I to be honest kinda regret. Um my brother was both drunk and high at the same time. And oh my god. I came downstairs in the kitchen and he was like, Sister, and then gave me a hug and would not let me go. And I'm like, this is weird. This is weird. Someone please take him off of me. This is unnormal. And it happened like three or four more times. I'm like, for the love of God, someone please take this kid off of me. It was so mad awkward.
Yeah.
But like his giggling though, sometimes you wouldn't know of who that is when they're giggling, when you know how they do laugh. But like his giggling and laughing does not sound like him. But it is him.
Really?
It's
Oh my
fucking fun.
gosh.
It's so funny, but it's like he makes fun of our grandmother a hell of a lot more than I fucking do. And
Uh,
you can easily tell when he giggles and starts busting out laughing, he cannot stop. Him and my mother, they cannot stop. I can't really stop half of the time, but like my grandmother, she'll give you a look of what the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you laughing at me? It's like, well, I'm sorry, but you're so easy to make fun of. Like she doesn't get it. But some of the shit that comes out of her mouth is just like, oh dear God, I wish she could hear herself.
yeah.
He was a
Yeah,
giggly
so
little boy
so your
too.
uncle says Kev, and then he says a
Yeah.
giggly little boy too. Always seem very pretty happy and smiling. And I did let them know this is a very good podcast. I'm so glad that you both are covering the hotel. Yeah. And thank you, Lindsay, for also putting in your vote so that the two of us got a chance to have them do this. And thank you, Silver, for being able to show this to us because I hope
Yeah, no
Lindsay's
problem.
listening. Yeah, I hope she's listening because it's very fascinating. But if
I
you
mean, I
may,
love history, so I'm really into paranormal
I love it.
stuff. I want to
Well,
find
I'm
out.
showing you a true classic ghost town in the sense of the word, which I lived and watched and saw grow all those 40 years or so I lived in the state. So believe me, it was always fun to visit Jerome. It's a great town. Oh, and by the way, here I'm going to request that whenever you go to Jerome, please go to the fudge shop. They have orange creamsicle fudge. Kid you not, some of the best fudge in the world. People all over the world go there just for that fudge. I kid you not. There's
Damn.
some very, very good fudge there. If you're really into chocolate fudge, this orange creamsicle fudge is the best. And luckily Suzanne got to try some of it. So it's very, very good.
I
Orange
love
creamsicle
fudge,
fudge,
but
babe.
I
Yeah. You loved it. Yeah, it's good.
I
It's good.
know when it comes to fudge in me, it's like I've got really sensitive teeth, so I don't
Mhm.
want to like have my teeth fall out.
Well, that
I
would be
don't
good.
know if Lindsay's
It'd be
listening
worth it
only
if you
because
did
I
it.
don't
Yeah, if
actually
you
know
did it with this
myself.
fudge, it'd be worth it.
Mm.
Yeah. All right. So let's continue, if you may.
Alright.
Here
You
we
know?
go.
People were blown
Yeah.
up and, trapped in mines and murdered. I
Mm.
mean, mining towns weren't really known for
Mining was
being great places.
dangerous. Super
Very.
dangerous.
But the haunted hamburger, I love that.
I do too.
I want a hamburger from there.
I do too.
I actually looked up how far away this place was from us. It's 8.5-hour drive.
That's not that bad.
Now, on top of that, few people drove in 1926 when the hospital was built and only 12 parking spaces were provided. Over 1,000 dump truck loads were excavated to make the now 70 spaces for the hotel and restaurant. So there's, I think, 70 rooms at the hotel.
Hmm.
There was 12 parking spaces.
Well, nobody really had that many cars and stuff back then.
No, I know,
so I
but
get it.
how
but-
hard would it be to like start a hotel with 12 parking spots?
Yeah. Oh, we can only have 12 people stay and you all have to drive in the same vehicle.
Now, excavation was done during the first 2 years of renovation, and it wasn't until July 1996 when the first rooms were ready and the building opened. In 1997, the Grand View Restaurant and Lounge were open, but it soon became apparent that leasing the restaurant was a better plan, and in 2003, the Asylum Restaurant was opened and is still in business today.
The Asylum Restaurant. I love all these
They
names.
lean into the paranormal here.
Yeah, obviously.
Because the paranormal accounts,
Uh-oh.
they go back a ways.
Ooh.
They didn't just start at the
Okay.
hotel. Another big negative was the building too soon and lime leached through, making the exterior look 100 years old when it was brand new.
Wow.
Now, located high up the mountain, set aside by itself with the operating windows facing Hill Street added to the Frankensteinish
Gorgeous.
appearance, which some people actually loved, but wasn't great for a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why it was a problem because like I looked at the views from the rooms.
Okay.
Now, I don't know which side of the hotel I was seeing out of when I was looking at these pictures, but the balcony was like set and you were looking at the slope of the mountain going down,
Ooh.
but you were like facing it. It looked really neat.
That's cool.
It had a good view in my opinion. I guess it's going to be very subjective to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. I thought it was a very cool view. It was very different, but it was nice. I liked it.
Heck yeah.
Now, original colors for the stucco, windows, and doors were used, and the awnings were added in 2006, giving a more inviting appearance. Because it was taken care of for so many years and built to last, after the renovation, it can be said that the hotel is the best preserved building in Arizona and actually continues to this day.
Wow. That's so cool.
So, I mean, the Jerome Grand Hotel, I don't know why I'm having a hard time saying that. I think it's because it's like JG. But the Grand Hotel, if you look at pictures, you'll see kind of like the front of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean like the front of the building. I just mean like the front where you walk in, and it's set up weird. It's set up to where it looks like you're walking into the side of the building, not the front of the building, because the front of the building would either be going downhill or uphill.
Okay.
So it's
you
like
kind of
long.
do have to come in from the side.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
like long, but that is the main entrance. But I just think it's weird. To me, it's weird looking because when I first looked this up, I was like, this is a tiny hotel.
Mm.
Because I just
Because
see
front of it.
Yeah. So I'm like, man, this is a super small hotel. And then I found more pictures, obviously, of the rest of it. And it's like set up like a longhouse style, like Vikings.
Okay.
And I was like, man, okay, this is a really big hotel. But it's just, it tricks your brain.
Mm.
Like if you don't know what you're looking for and then you find it and you see like this little place. It reminded me at first of the what was the little place that we did in Key West? The little hotel down there.
Oh,
What was that place called? That was an episode from like 2 years ago.
It was a long time ago. I don't remember.
It wasn't,
but I do remember.
It wasn't the
what you're talking about.
Laconca. It was, I can't remember. We do so many episodes.
I know.
But it reminded me of that until I saw the other pictures. But it's a cool hotel.
Mm.
The rooms they're not the nicest rooms I've ever seen. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
They look fine though. They look fine. But this isn't like you're not going there for like a super upscale, trip. It's very much like staying at a Holiday Inn. I could compare it to.
Okay.
It's not bad. It's not great. It's not bad. The view's amazing. I love it.
I was thinking like Best Western versus Super 8.
Yes, there you go. That
Okay.
would work. I mean, you're not going to stay at the Four Seasons, obviously, but
Yeah.
it definitely looks like it's worth the stay. And if any of the stories are true, it kind of makes it worth it. But there is an issue with that staying at the hotel.
What?
Well, I can't say yet because it's in the second half. But they do acknowledge the paranormal at this hotel. They do not shy away from it.
Mm.
They do
Okay.
acknowledge it, and there are so many paranormal claims at this hotel.
Yay.
This isn't going to be like last week where
Yay.
we're going to talk about a tour guide. Every story is paranormal in nature, and the
Alright.
reviews are aplenty. We could have done this whole episode just on reviews.
Wow.
There's that many. So I mean, again, a mining town. Is it the land though? People lived here since 700.
Mm-hmm.
Probably before that. People died here in the mining. The Mexican-American War happened here.
Yeah.
The Old West. This is the Old West. We live in the Old West.
Wow. West.
Yeah, this is not Will Smith. Okay, this is not Will Smith. But it's very cool. But we do got to get into some spooky stories. Do you remember when we did Alabama? We did the Jemison Mansion and the hospital over there.
Yeah.
And I said, man, Alabama is just like full of haunted stuff. Arizona is the West Coast Alabama.
Okay.
There is so much paranormal stuff.
Gotcha.
I love that
It was-
comparison.
So our kind of place.
We could have just been the Arizona Paranormal Podcast.
Oh,
It's crazy.
wow.
Arizona is a well-known haunted place. Its unique culture and history have left behind a myriad of ghost stories that helped shape its culture. While locations believed to be haunted, like the Orpheum Theater, the Hotel Monte Vista, the Riordan Mansion, the Palace Saloon, the Hassayampa Inn, sure you remember that
Yeah, I
name,
do.
the Gadsden Hotel, and so much more, it is no wonder people consider it, you ready? One of the most haunted states in America.
Yeah,
I
baby.
come across that so much, it just doesn't really mean anything anymore.
I don't know though, because if you think about Arizona and all the stuff you've seen that's been in Arizona, I
Mhm.
think maybe this might be the exception.
Okay.
Arizona may be the most haunted state because of the Wild West and the mining around it and stuff. I think this could possibly be, if there is one, this could be one of the most haunted
Wow.
states. And
Okay.
this is one I finally agree with.
Wow.
Alabama, I'm not so sure. I don't know how much Mary and your cousin makes paranormal stuff, but sorry.
That's fair.
Sorry,
That's
Bama. Sorry, Alabama.
fair.
But there is one location that seems to stand out to many as the most haunted of them all. A place that even we have been asked to talk about more than once, the
Mhm.
Jerome Grand Hotel in Jerome, Arizona. Now built on the very top of Cleopatra Hill, this huge 5-story Spanish mission-style building is the highest public building in the entire Verde Valley. The building is made of concrete poured in place on a 50-degree slope, and still is considered an engineering feat to this day.
Wow.
So that was another interesting thing that I came across. In the 20s, they managed to pour a foundation on a 50-degree slope.
That's crazy.
That's nuts.
That is
They
so
don't
insane.
really do stuff like that now
No.
because it's just too hard.
Yeah.
But they figured this out back in the 20s.
That's crazy.
That is incredibly impressive.
Yeah.
And when I read that originally, I was very blown away by that because that is just, I don't know, man. That just seems, I don't know how they did
That's
it. I
wild.
would really love to know how they did it.
Yeah.
I mean, the form that they had to build for that must have been intense. While the upper floors house the guest rooms, the bottom floors house the hotel lobby, the gift shop, a high-end restaurant, and the hotel kitchen, which the asylum restaurant. You seem to like that a lot.
Okay.
Now, walking into the lobby is like walking into the 1920s era because they keep it kind of original.
That's amazing.
The decorum and furniture reflect the time period. The charming 1926 Otis elevator, which serves all 5 floors, is the oldest original self-service elevator in Arizona and is long known for its reliability.
Wow.
I'd have to look more into this. I'm wondering, is it maybe one of the oldest self-service elevators?
No, it isn't, but it is one of the oldest in use today. It is.
Like,
Right.
you
New
mean
York
period?
City.
In America.
Wow. That'd be very interesting to know.
I should have
for
looked
sure.
into that. I'm
Yeah.
not quite sure. In the beginning, Jerome Grand Hotel only had 6 rooms available. The rest of the rooms were still under construction and thus empty. And claims of strange happenings started coming in almost immediately after the hotel was opened. Guests would claim to hear voices coming from empty rooms, and there were even reports of what sounded like a hospital gurney riding down the hallways at night, but of course no one was there.
Now,
Well,
would that freak the heck out of you if you heard you've been in a hospital? You and I'm sure, I know Suzanne has. We've all been in hospitals, and when you hear the gurneys come down the hallway,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
got this
fuck that.
huge cavernous. Well, it's really weird. It's like a huge cavernous sound, and you hear these wheels and everything coming down. This is literally what people in their hallways hear. Is this like cavernous with the wheels coming down their hallway? Now, would that freak you out? I mean, you wouldn't even know what that is, and there's nothing there when you wake up and open your hotel room, right door, your front door. But I mean, you hear it, and it's just squeaking across the surface and
Oh,
everything.
that is a
Freak the heck out
fucking
of
no for me.
me.
Something just dawned on me, realizing that since today's the 9th of September,
Yes.
pretty sure I forgot to do a 7-year anniversary on the main channel of streaming. Forgot
Okay.
that's an oops. I'll have to figure that out maybe during the week if I can.
Sure.
Because I know last year I did a 6-year anniversary, and that was
Ah,
entertaining. To be honest, because I had a dumbass coming to my chat, being like, "Oh, wait, you're not a woman. Oh no, you're not a man. You're a woman." I'm like, "What the fuck did you think I was? You've seen me before. You've heard my voice before, you dummy." The fuck?
Oh no.
He goes by the name of Jill, and he's
Wow.
from a group that
Wow.
Ape came from, and Ape had a great old time banning or timing his ass out. But
Okay.
that oof, he's like drop towards 24, and then he goes, "Wait, you're not a man, you're a woman. Nice try, Ape." And I'm like, "Really? You fucking thought I was a man? I cannot."
Oh man.
He doesn't like
Oh,
a woman.
poor ape.
So
Oh, poor Kevin.
yeah, no. Jill is one of those dumbasses that won't shut the fuck up, and also lies through his teeth constantly. But he doesn't like to talk to women, or at least he refuses to talk to women. But yet he came back like 2 hours later, trying to educate me on fucking
Oh, please.
grades, which I'm like, really?
Yeah, please.
So
Just reading what your uncle says. So he says, I don't know if Lindsay is listening only because I don't actually know her myself. He says Megan does. I don't know who Megan is. I don't know who Megan is.
Megan
and he's been
is Steve's wife.
Steve's wife, Megan. Oh, well, there you go. Right. Okay, that's okay. Sorry. Sorry, Steve.
Lindsay is Megan's friend.
Best friend. Okay. So Megan and Steve. Okay. And you did say they live in Utah somewhere, right? So that's
Yeah,
why he's saying, and you're welcome, because we will end
poor
up going
Megan.
to Jerome eventually, because it's not too far. I hope, Steve, that you and Megan spend one night in the hotel and stay in the haunted room, the one that you probably will mention in this podcast. Stay in that haunted room for one night. I guarantee it's haunted enough you may not want to come back to it again after you've stayed one night in it. But
Oof.
you never know. Yeah, you'll have to check that out. Halloween is our big episode though, and we are covering a place in birth state. Okay. It may be a two-parter, and also if anyone's interested, we may be going live on Halloween for the first time. Oh, that's cool. And then you said Silver will probably be there. And yes, Silver knows. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. Yeah, so definitely you two should spend the night there. Check it out
Yep.
and take lots of pictures if you can. If you can. Oh, woo. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's continue. Let's
I'm like
continue.
eight days late of doing a anniversary stream on my main channel.
That'd be
That's
cool.
amazing.
I'd love to be a part of that. That'd be fun.
Yep.
The rest of the story is basically paranormal.
I'm ready.
Yay.
There's
so
so
ready.
much. There is so much. It is believed there are many ghosts at the hotel, but some of them are more notable than others. When the building was operating as a hospital, it is alleged that many people had died there. There are no official records available, but according to some, over 9,000 deaths occurred. And I'm sure with the land, it's probably way more than that.
Absolutely.
As the town was primarily a mining town, it is believed that most of the deaths were caused by mining accidents. But people also died of other injuries and illnesses. Now, we have covered a lot of hospitals from this time period, so we all know the amount of death that came with the times, and it was shocking.
Hmm.
Because the medical practices are unbelievable
Yeah,
and brutal.
absolutely.
Very scary.
It's so scary.
I'm so glad I didn't live then. I don't even like needles. And don't come at me. I have a lot of tattoos. I understand this, but it's different. It is different.
It is very different.
The first, during its time as a hospital, is the bearded apparition, and probably a miner or someone associated with the mining community. Now, this spirit was known to be a friendly entity who haunted the building for many years. He liked to appear on random floors and just visit with the living.
Aw, he didn't want to be gone. He wants friends.
Nothing here seems evil. Everything here seems very, kind of fun. I want to go.
I want to go.
A night duty nurse at the time had Jack. There was one person. She went upstairs to scold the man, but he was an invalid, who she found in bed where he was supposed to be. And the invalid told the nurse that the bearded man, he glided down the hall, turning all the lights on.
Just gave me goosebumps.
So these stories
Wow.
start back in the hospital days.
Yeah.
They're not even this. We haven't even. We're decades and decades and decades away from hotel time.
Wow.
Stories have been flooding in since the 1920s about paranormal activity at this hospital, which leads me to believe that I'm not saying that some of the stuff now isn't from the hospital,
Right.
obviously, because it's a hospital, but maybe it was during some of the mining, days where
Mhm.
mining accidents happened a lot,
Yeah.
or the land before that, there could have been people buried there. Who knows?
Right.
I'm old enough to know you don't mess with Indian burial grounds,
This is true.
In another occurrence, a nurse was about to leave a floor when she saw a bearded man out of bed standing at the very end of the hall. When she quickly approached him, the apparition just disappeared. And guests at the hotel have claimed to see the bearded man and evidence of his presence on the floor, especially the second and third floors.
Wow.
And he's still seen today.
That's amazing.
One of the most common sounds heard in any busy hospital is the first cry of a newborn baby. Guests of the hotel frequently report the sound of an infant crying. Callers have reported the sound to hotel staff, claiming to hear it coming from a neighboring room, only to learn that the room had not been occupied.
Oh, little babies.
I mean, could you imagine? It's hard to have a baby now.
Yeah.
Could you imagine having a baby in the 20s?
No, thank you.
I mean,
No, thank you.
it's only so common now that everything turns out okay because they figured it out. But
Yeah.
you know, at its core,
Those are the times that they were figuring it out.
childbirth is not safe. It's safe, but it's not safe. It's the most natural thing known to man, but it is not. It's hard. It's
It
hard on
is.
the body.
Yeah.
Now, the ghost of a little 6-year-old boy is claimed to appear to guests on the 3rd floor. He smiles and then disappears. Very common occurrences, which happen daily as reported by the guests, are footsteps going up and down the halls and stairs, fans which turn off and on by themselves, and locked doors unlocking by themselves during the evening hours. A guest in room 32 watched in fascinated horror as the bathroom door in his room quietly opened and then just closed by itself.
Stop.
Maybe the ghost had to poop.
If
I don't know.
it was a little boy, you maybe just want to take a little bath, you know?
You never know.
Never know.
No, little boys don't want to take baths. You know this. You have to.
I do.
Maids
Cool.
cleaning the empty rooms and hallways seem to be the favorite targets for some teasing entities who like to get some chuckles at the living's expense.
Mm.
However, when the maids tell them to stop, the teasing subsides for a couple of days, so they listen.
So they're super nice.
That's what I'm
Super
saying.
nice ghosts.
That's what I'm saying. Like when I was finding all this, I'm like, this is so strange that because usually the things that make places popular are, you know, like these evil entities. And,
Yeah.
But this
like the demons and the,
This like-
all this blah.
this is like haunted Disney.
But I would like to think that most hauntings are like this, you know?
I mean, because we've said it in the past, like they're ghosts, but if we believe that they're ghosts, that
Mhm.
they were once people, so they're people.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
not everybody was an evil demon.
Yeah.
know,
Not
so-
everybody was like a grumpy person for their entire life.
what I'm
who
saying.
just wants to take it out on everybody
So
after.
This to me makes more sense that you would have ghosts that are like messing with people.
Yeah.
You know,
Like,
just-
oh, I want to mess with you because I know it kind of creeps you out, but you're
Yeah.
going to tell me to stop. And I'll be like, okay.
that's what
I'll
I'm saying.
stop.
Now, maids have allegedly heard someone calling their names when they were completely alone on the floor. Doors to the rooms and closet doors have slammed shut on them. One unseen entity didn't like the loud vacuum in the hallway and rudely rushed by the maid in the form of a strong, cold, unseen presence nearly pushing her over. It's a strong ghost.
You can't yell stop. I mean, what else? is
Really?
he
I
gonna
mean,
do?
are you sure? Because they seem to be able to say their names.
I mean, true,
I don't
but
know.
maybe not loud enough over the vacuum.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
You know?
maybe. Now, the most popular of all the rooms available for guests to retire after an evening of ghost hunting is room 32. The room is well known as the most haunted room in the hotel after having been the location of not one, but 2 grisly suicides.
Mm.
One man leapt from the balcony to his death, while another man turned his gun on himself. Guests who dare attempt sleep in this room are awoken by the sounds of doors opening by themselves and of water streaming from faucets that apparently just turned on themselves full blast.
Mm.
Hotel employees who sit in the lobby sign and desk area seem to have plenty of unseen company. The lobby doors have been known to just open and close on their own as if someone was just leaving or entering.
Mm.
So there's no place in this hotel that doesn't seem to have
Right.
something. Supposedly, one employee was sitting at the desk when she heard a commotion in the gift shop. She discovered that the contents of the shelves were just flying off by themselves, landing on the floor.
Oh my
And
god.
that's poltergeist activity.
It is.
So I don't know. That one
Wow.
is very different from all the other ones
Mm-mm.
because we haven't talked about. I mean, I guess maybe the water turning on, but this is very.
Yeah, because that falls in.
Yeah.
It sounds like the
you know,
cigar
But
smoking
this
man.
is very poltergeisty.
Yeah.
Stuff being thrown around.
Oh yeah.
Another employee had arranged the chairs in the lobby right in front of the main desk, and she turned her back to attend to something else. When she turned around again, the chairs had been moved back.
Oh my god.
Again, that's very poltergeist activity.
Wow.
It reminds me of that really fake Mind Seed video.
Oh, look at this.
What's up?
Do not turn off.
And it's locked? Why would they want somebody to not turn it off?
Holy sh!
you see the chairs?
Oh my God. Everything's swinging too.
Dude, shit. Look at the light.
Oh, the light's swinging, huh?
Like something just ran down the
Isn't
center
that
of
awesome?
towards us.
That we watched,
with the
that we
chairs
saw.
being
Yeah,
stacked.
it was so bad.
So bad.
Another employee sitting at the desk watched in shock as the posted plaque of the hotel's rules lifted itself off the nail that it was hanging on and flew to the middle of the lobby carpet. Intense.
What?
The main desk in the lobby often gets phone calls from empty rooms, and the apparition of an old lady dressed in a fine white dress has also appeared in the stairwell next to the elevator.
That's the one I
Wow.
took a
Lady
picture
in
of.
white dress. There's always
The
one.
lady in the white
Yeah,
dress.
that is always
Yeah,
kind of like the most
Victorian
commonly
style.
seen
Yep.
apparition.
Walking
There's
down the
always
stairwell
one.
to the front
There's nothing
lobby.
better than a hot lady in a
Oh,
white
yes.
dress.
Or like guy to top
Or a
hat.
black dress. Or a red dress.
Any dress?
I like you in dresses.
Thanks.
And
I
I
don't wear them.
no, never.
Yeah,
I've seen you in a dress a couple times.
couple. And
We've been together for
12 years?
it's been almost 13 years now.
I know.
I've seen you in a dress, I think, 3 times.
Like 4, maybe 5.
Our wedding, your friend's wedding, and I think you wore one night when we went out to appease me.
My sister's wedding.
Okay,
Her
yeah.
rehearsal.
Yeah, but you were like super pregnant. Nobody
I
cares about
was.
this. Nobody cares about
I'm fucking dead. Can I also just mention I'm also not really a person. Who the fuck just tried to call me? Pepperell? Huh? Kind of fucking Pepperell, Massachusetts? Who the fuck is that?
I don't
have
know.
fucking no idea. Apparently they called and just immediately hang up, probably butt dialed. But I don't normally wear dresses myself.
Mm.
Like, I rarely wear any dresses.
When
'Cause-
was the last time you wore a dress? Tell me exactly when the last time.
Like an actual dress?
Like an actual dress, yeah.
Fuck. 2018 on my graduation from high school.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I was more technically a prom dress, really, but an actual dress was probably when I was like 7
Aw.
years old. Yeah, there's a legitimate photo of me wearing one at that age, and I do not look happy. I look like you.
Yeah.
I literally look like you get close to me, I might smack you. Kind of look.
But I was really proud that Steve and Megan were able to mention that Steve was able to mention the lady in the flowing dress, because I did take a picture of her as she was coming down the stairwell to the front of the hotel. And it does make sense with the items being thrown from the shelf, because we came across the man who was a ghost who was smoking a cigar, and the cigar
Right.
smoke was right in my face as I took a picture of him. You'll see it on my picture; it's there. But all those pictures are in my Facebook. I have those old pictures there, and yeah. So if you look closely, you will see them. When you were little, all you wore was dresses, and you twirled around in them and made me play dolls and stuff. That's what Steve's telling you.
I was little. I'm no longer little. Okay? I technically stopped wearing like dresses when I was like, I don't know, 10. So
Yeah. In the podcast, hey, let me ask Steve. Steve, in the podcast, did you mention about the Zach Baggins episode when he tried to do his
God.
Ghostbuster thing there, and he tempted Claude Harvey, that we call him the Otis Elevator Ghost Man, and he brought the elevator down. Nobody ran it from upstairs. Nobody was on it, and the elevator came down and almost took him and a cameraman out. He got out of there in the bottom well there beneath the elevator at the last minute before he came down to the basement. Hopefully you mentioned that, but I wanted to mention that to you too. It's on YouTube; you can see it, but it's just really insane. Um, you don't piss off Claude Harvey. You talk to him very nicely. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, hey, don't, don't,
Oh,
don't do this to me right now. Damn it.
oh, that's so cute. Cute little girl to your uncle.
You,
Oh, he loves you.
you
Come on.
fucking Jimmy. Mm-mm. I'm gonna smoke you both.
Okay, okay. Yeah, he says we don't like Zach, so we try not include him
Yeah, I
unless it's
don't
unavoidable. I agree.
blame
I
him.
agree. Yeah. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
an evil man, and he owns
yeah.
his museum outside of Las Vegas is supposed to be of the occult and paranormal and supernatural, but it's evil. There's a lot of evil spirits there that still inhabit his museum that he claims legitimately is true. So I can understand. I totally can understand.
Yeah, Zach can like poke into certain things that he really shouldn't be.
Oh yeah,
Speaking of spirits,
yeah.
pretty sure I actually do have something in this room.
Oh yeah.
First of all, I have a inflatable chair that only worked fully for like one fucking day and like half of a morning. Um,
Wow.
stay. So I super glued to where the like air was being coming out because the stupid thing that it came with,
Yeah.
the patch thing, didn't work. So I reinflated it and it was still like out of air again. I'm like, what the fuck? But before I sat back down on it after reinflating it, after the super glue and everything dried, um, whatever is in here moved the fucking
Wow.
inflatable chair right in
Oh
front of me.
wow.
I was like, oh, cool, you are still here. Lovely. Meaning, I haven't touched my closet fucking door since it moved it twice.
Wow.
Mhm. So I don't know what's in here, and I don't know if I should do like some spare box or something with it, because I don't know whether or not it's
Well,
good or not. You know what I mean?
well, as long as it's a good spirit. As I told you, hon, we've got at least three that live in our apartment with us. And both our girls, Deja Vu and Moon Pie, know. They see the spirits, they can see them. They know when they glide over our
Right.
bed, do things. When they throw stuff at Suzanne, I say, hey, hey, don't throw stuff at my wife. So far,
Yeah.
knock on wood, they haven't tried to throw anything at me yet, but if I see something coming my way, it's going to hit me. Yeah, I'll try to get out of the way, but then I know it's them because it makes no sense how
Yeah.
something can just be thrown across the room completely. Like we've seen an item from the kitchen come from there all the way over to where I'm sitting right now, where I'm
Right.
at.
So,
So, yeah,
the inflatable chair thing wasn't the only one that was being moved. So, I changed the room yesterday,
yeah.
actually.
Hmm.
Um, the position of everything. So I used to have my clothes in this back corner of where I'm at now, and I have two little like tiny black, not more, not really bags, but like they can stack up. It's like a little storage thing. So I have
Yeah.
two little things of those, and they got pushed onto the fucking floor. And I'm like, there's no way in hell they could have fallen on their own because they're the
Right.
only way to move them, because they're a little heavy, is a fucking
Yeah.
one. So whatever
Yeah.
the hell was in here, clearly didn't like it where the fuck they were.
Yeah.
But when I put them back, it didn't touch them again. So
Yeah.
like, what the fuck do I have in here that's knocking this shit down and moving
If it
my
if
fucking
it gets
closet?
too yeah, if it gets too dangerous, I would think of some cleansing I think of doing some cleansing. And
I
then
have a witchcraft kit that has sage and other herbs and whatnot. I almost said herbs like a fucking weirdo.
You're welcome,
You're
Steve.
very welcome.
Yes, yeah, yeah. If we do the cleansing, that's true, honey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve says, I'm one of the few people I know that would have no issue telling Zach how I feel, but I'm sure he's too rich to care what some small podcaster thinks. Yes, true. And he says, that was a good plus screen, Silver. Damn, my wife is hot. Can't believe she married me. Damn.
Yeah,
Well,
you're
hey,
very welcome.
so you're very welcome.
Maybe
Some ladies like Megan know when there's a good man that understands them, that cares about them, and that must have been what she saw in you. She saw that glint in your eye and knew you were a good man. And women are very good they have very good sensibility about it. Well, I mean, I don't want
not
to
you,
accuse
not you. I
people.
was talking about my uncle.
Oh,
I
oh.
was doing one of
Well,
these because he texted
when I
me.
first here was the thing, when I first met my beautiful Suzanne online
Oh,
back in 2010, when I very first started Facebook, we knew at that point that we were meant for each other. It's weird. The first time we ever met each other online. And then we built up to it. Like I said, we built up our relationship. We talked to each other, and the rest is history. And we've been happily together now for 14 years because we knew we had that bonding. We had that knowledge that we were meant to be together. It doesn't happen very often. I know this, but I'm pretty sure, Steve, that's what happened with you and Megan. hmm I'm pretty sure of it. Yeah, he's got proof too. We got two kids
Yeah.
together. Yep. Didn't hurt. I used to be a big gym rat and was in the best shape of my life, but I got old and fat. Oh, come on.
Well, okay. So the other thing too is right. Maybe I paused it at this direction or this little photo here for
That's so
you
cool.
to because you were talking about me as a little girl. So maybe I was pausing it for a reason. Hmm.
And he said me and Megan met in a very unique way. That's so cool. That's so cool. Okay, Silver, if you want, we can watch to the end of it. So if you want.
Yep.
All right.
In 1936, the hospital's fireman engineer Claude M. Harvey, well known by everyone in town as Scotty, was found dead in the basement when the elevator pinned him to the ground, crushing his head.
Oh my God.
Now, the elevator was in perfect working order, and Scotty was not suicidal, which leaves the possibility that Scotty was actually murdered. Unfortunately, there were no CSI units back then, and no forensic evidence was available to build a case against anyone, though there were several theories and suspects.
Oh my God.
So
That is awful.
people believe that Scotty was murdered,
Mm,
but it's hard. It's hard to solve a murder back then.
Yeah.
I don't even know how they
how you
ever
would
did.
attempt it. Yeah.
So why a lot of people back then got locked up who were innocent.
Yeah.
Now, someone
Even
perhaps
my
got
wife
away with
was.
murder, which may have caused Claude M. Harvey to haunt the building, especially the hallways, lobby, stairs, and basement area. And some say he won't rest until the truth is known about his death, which was seemingly a murder.
Tell him, Claude. Tell
There-
him.
He's the most well-known, I believe. There are a number of paranormal occurrences attributed to Claude M. Harvey. Lights in the elevator shaft have been seen, and I don't mean like lights that flicker on and off. I mean like
Like floating lights.
floating lights.
Okay.
The sound of the creaking iron elevator has long been heard throughout the building, even when the elevator was up at the top floor, not being used when the building was vacant.
Mm.
Crazy.
He's like, hello, I was murdered here.
I'm sorry, Scotty. It's too much time has passed. We're never going to know.
Mm.
Enjoy your stay at the Jerome Grand Hotel. The shadowy figure of a man has been seen in the basement, on the stairs, and in other parts of the hotel, often with an angry demeanor, making the living uncomfortable, but never actually hurting anyone. So he might be the only angry one,
Yeah.
but he doesn't do anything.
He's just like, he's yelling, like, hey, someone say that I was
Well,
murdered.
I don't know if this is Scotty. It could be. It could be. It makes sense. It's in the same area.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe you could be right on that one. I'm not sure, but doesn't do anything to anybody. It's just like I'm here.
Yeah.
Look at me. Look at me.
Hello?
Employees sitting at the lobby desk have felt an angry glare from a presence standing on the stairs. The feeling becomes so strong that they look up and see this shadowy figure. And after being seen, it retreats back up the stairs. It's like, oh, you saw me. Run away.
Okay. Oh,
That's what I'm saying.
you
So, like,
actually saw me.
it's how scary is that?
It's not, but you know that feeling when someone's watching you and you're just like, where are they?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
but you feel it, you know it.
It reminds me of the angry monkey in Family Guy. That's what it reminds me of. Now, in addition to ghosts, guests and staff have reported strange experiences, such as lights and TVs switching on and off on their own. TVs and table lamps are also known to just unplug themselves. And unknown cell phones and camcorders have been found dead center under the bed or on top of the bed. Remember that. Assorted items have gone flying across hotel rooms with no explanations. Now, I didn't want you to be able to read this next part. There's one more.
Oh, okay.
And if all that isn't enough, the hotel is even said to be home to the ghostly form of a feline. Numerous guests have reported feeling a ghost of a cat brushing up against their leg, leaving an imprint on the bed linens from its catnap. And one guest even captured the phantom feline in a photograph. And the picture was framed, and it's still up on the front desk of the hotel.
A kitty?
A kitty, ghost kitty,
Aw,
ghost kitty.
stop.
I think that's super
Black
kinda
kitty
cool.
that
baby.
is so cool.
Now, those two things, though, remember the ghost cat,
Mhm.
remember people's cell phones being found dead
in
center.
the center. Okay.
Now, with all those claims, we still obviously felt the need to see what people who have visited the hotel have to say. And this is what we found. And these, again, I'll make my statement at the end.
Okay.
In March 2024 on TripAdvisor.com, someone named Cheryl M. wrote, quote, stayed at the Jerome Grand Hotel for my mom's 89th birthday, and it was perfect. The rooms are a good size, and we had a great view. Loved the blend of old and modern. Now, the elevator is fun to operate. Light breakfast included is a nice touch. Haunted? Maybe. We heard scratching on the window, even though there was nothing near it to make a noise. We had purchased a bottle of mead in Prescott and did not have a corkscrew, so went to the Asylum restaurant, and they were very accommodating to open the bottle for me. And there's your first. This is
Okay.
very light,
Happy birthday, Mom.
very light. Yeah, she just turned 89. This
Yeah.
was actually this year.
Yep.
But they did hear something, and nothing was there. So who knows? Maybe a branch, right?
Yeah.
Just maybe a branch.
Maybe.
In September 2022 on TripAdvisor.com, someone named Patty S. wrote, quote, we stayed one night at the Grand Hotel in Jerome, a hotel on site of an old hotel where 9,000 people died, which she got wrong. It's a hospital, but I left it in because that's how she wrote it. It's said to be haunted, especially room 32. We stayed in that very room. Comfy room with vintage furnishing, AC, and TV, full bath. I didn't expect any paranormal activity, but around 4 a.m., I woke up in the dark room and I looked around. To my right, I saw a bright orb of light streak by me and disappear. Shortly after, I felt something soft and furry press against my foot. I thought it was my husband, but it was too furry to be him, and he was not lying very close to me. I heard of the ghost cat that other guests had heard and felt in their bed. I like cats and just fell back asleep. Interesting evening.
Oh.
Now, the thing about that is that
I just realized something when they mentioned about a ghost cat.
Yeah.
When I was at Chelsea's a few years ago, Jesus
Okay.
Christ, time flies. She mentioned something about a spirit that kept trying to get her attention almost. That actually died at the home that she's living in now. That, like, I forget the year already. His name was Richard Leverett or something, or other Leverett or Lovering. Whichever fucking last name it is. He also had a dog. that
Ooh.
passed away in the home too. So when I did a spirit box session at her house about it, Richard kind of came in and out a few times. But he did mention about a dog, and I think his wife, who's still alive to this day,
Mhm.
I believe also mentioned about a dog. So it's funny because, well, as a animal person, huge animal person that I am,
Right.
it would be really weird if Maisie came to me in a spirit form. I don't know how I feel about that already. But
Would you like it though if it
I
came in a
wouldn't
cat form?
mind her being here in the spirit form. Like, I do miss her a lot and everything. Like, she's very, very ill. But like, I'm pretty sure when I spoke to Richard
Ooh, sorry.
that fucking Mac. You missed a lot there, Mac.
Yeah.
Um,
So make sure you get a chance to rewatch there, Mac the Human. Good to see you. What a
yep.
lovely story. Glad you guys got into it for the booze. Yeah, we're wonderful. We love this. This is a great podcast that he's doing about a
Yeah.
place that I had seen a few times, and blessed that I was able to see it with my wife and really
You're good,
experience the
Mac.
paranormal activity that goes on there with Claude Harvey and the cat and the woman in the Victorian dress and the cigar smoking man and yeah, and all
Yep.
of our
Yep.
batteries to my cameras, 16 pairs of them, all being drained all at once. And the only pictures I can take indoors are indoors and at the Asylum restaurant on that upper floor. I only was able to take 3 pictures when I was around the hotel itself vicinity. 3. That's it. I couldn't
Oh,
take any other pictures outside. Yeah, it was
yeah.
great.
So when I spoke to Richard through the spirit box, he wasn't doing any like harm or anything to people. He was just trying to get someone's attention. I
Yeah,
think he knew something was wrong, that he wanted to tell someone something.
right.
So I brought him back to my house, and I
Oh,
brought his
sorry.
dog with me too.
Yeah.
And his dog is a corgi. You know what's really fucking funny? We actually
Aw,
have we actually have our landlord upstairs. He's got a real life corgi named Jamison.
corgis
Um,
are cute. Yeah.
so it's like, oh, that's fucking funny. I just fucking realized that we live with a landlord who has a fucking corgi, and there's a spirit of a little corgi dog, I think, just running around. Um, because like when I was at the old house, I could easily tell that there was a spirit cat and a spirit dog around me, because not only was the corgi spirit dog there, but on my dad's side we had a cat named Mr. Kringle. He passed away. He was a good cat, so I think he came with me too. So
Yeah.
having
Oh,
Maisie,
oh yeah, there you go.
but yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I really do think something in this fucking room is fucking with my internet or something like that.
It messes
Um,
around with their electronics. Yeah,
yeah, I
I
kind of
get it.
figured.
I get it. Yeah. Uh, yeah, so just quickly, I was just gonna say, C was mentioning they met, he and Megan at a Narcotics Anonymous dance. It went from there. She was pregnant 3 months later, though. Good thing it worked out. Yes, it's a good thing. Love each other. He says, we run into the spirit of animals a few times over the years doing this show. This is the first time it really seems substantial. Yeah, the black cat is beautiful, that ghost black cat. Suzanne felt him too. Felton brush against her knee and leg and everything. Yeah, we did mention the cat also. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, Mac was glad that you guys found each other for the booze. Yep, the two of them. Lovely story. He did say, "Oh, sorry," and then
Mhm.
he says, "Thank you, Mac. I'm very grateful to have her in my life. I don't believe in things like fate and all that, but I knew the moment we met, she was the one." Same thing, Steve. When me and Suzanne first met online, I knew she was the one. She was the one for me. I knew it. Yeah, man, that's awesome, bro. Uh, doing silent. So you've had an actual experience with a ghost pet. That's incredible. I want to see one. Yeah, Silver. He wants to see one. I've
Yeah.
seen him. I've
Um.
seen him.
Like I said, I've had like freaking dreams with like a little girl showing me around of a friend's old house that got tore down, and he's like, the face he gave me was like every fucking detail I gave him. When the house that he used to live in, he never told me of any about or anything about it in the inside, on the outside of it, how it was like where the stairs and the rooms were and everything. He never told me anything about that house. When I had that dream of that little girl showing me of that house, I thought it was just a random fucking house that she was showing me. When I told him the details, like his jaw dropped, like he looked at me as if I was fucking nuts. And I'm like, why are you looking at me like that? He goes, because everything you just said was a house that I actually used to live in Flint, Michigan, that I believe got tore down. I'm like, holy fuck.
Wow.
It's
Um.
nuts.
Yeah. Do you want to finish out, Silver? Okay. Yeah. We got
Yep.
like less than 12 minutes left.
We rarely find reviews that coincide with actual stories
Like, yeah.
from places. So
Yeah.
was like, wow, that says something.
Mm,
That's not the only one though. It's not going to be the only one.
tell me more.
In August 2020 on tripadvisor.com, someone named Pathfinder 425916 wrote, quote, just stayed one night to do the ghost tour. Cool, haunted hotel, although didn't experience anything paranormal. My daughter, who was in room 33, did say that she heard an old-fashioned typewriter all night long, but I was in 31, so I'm not sure. Front desk was very nice and pleasant. Parking is a challenge. So, weird
Typewriter all night.
hearing an old typewriter all night.
That's very distinct sound too. So like you couldn't someone typing on a laptop.
No, it's not going to be the same.
Totally different.
Yeah, because
from a
the old
typewriter.
typewriters have the keys that smack the paper.
Yep.
So it is a very unique sound.
Yeah, you hear the button being pushed and then the
hammer,
letter
the hammer
hitting.
hit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's a very distinct sound.
Mm-hmm.
And one more in October 2017 on tripadvisor.com. Someone named Kylene 2020 wrote, which I think is a really cool name for some reason.
Kylene?
Yeah. Quote, I have stayed at Jerome Grand Hotel twice now, and I can say for sure it is haunted.
Mm.
I do recommend the ghost tours. Now, they have ghost equipment where you can communicate with the ghost. There was a graveyard, haunted high school, and an old prison. I stayed in room 32, which is said to be the most haunted room in the entire hotel. Apparently, there was a nurse who used to take patients and insert a needle into their temples with a disease, which I found nowhere else, I'm not going to lie. Around 11 p.m., I started to get a very painful headache on the side of my temple. Also, I was talking about how I needed to use the restroom. In that very room, a patient shot himself in the head in the bathroom. When I got up to use the restroom, an anomaly passed by the door like it didn't want me to go in there. The TV wouldn't work for the longest time, and the batteries in our phones kept dying. The door slammed at one point. The last, most frightening thing that happened that night was finding my cell phone dead center in the middle of the bed when I woke up that next morning. End quote.
Interesting.
Another one
Interesting.
that goes with the claims.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Wow.
Today, Jerome Grand Hotel, it still operates, obviously. And due to the privacy of guests, you're not actually allowed to wander the guest floors. The lobby and the hotel restaurant called the Asylum are open to the public. There's a notebook at the lobby desk filled with paranormal experiences of guests. They have filled 5 300-page notebooks since 1996. So there's definitely something going on in the Jerome Grand Hotel.
What? 5 300-page notebooks.
That's 15. That's 1,500
That's a lot.
pages
That's
of
a lot
paranormal
of
accounts.
pages. Wow. That's
I-
impressive.
So I mean, obviously, I'm not going to say what we think, but obviously, people think something's happening here.
Right.
That is the most stories about one place I've ever heard of. I would love to get my hands on some of these and read them. I
Mhm.
think that would be super cool
Yeah.
because I could just only imagine what people have said about this place.
I mean, if we can't go and like explore the guest floors, you could just go and read notebooks in the lobby
Yeah,
and see if anything happens.
I don't know if they leave them all out. I'm sure they have one out, at least the one that's currently being used.
yeah.
But I don't know if they. I mean, that would be really cool if they kept them all out. But then you risk like people damaging them.
I mean, you can laminate them. Just saying.
Oh boy, that's a lot of lamination.
I don't care. I
Right.
want to read them.
That's why it's your job, not mine, to laminate things.
I am the laminator.
You are. Sounds like a superhero name. I'm the laminator. But the Jerome Grand Hotel, I mean, it's been around. And while it can't really be backed up, it is claimed that 9,000 people died there just in the hospital days. And who knows?
I mean, for the time that the hotel was running and like the medical practices back then, I could definitely see that being a thing, especially being a mining town with injuries and accidents and, things like that.
Dude, the hotel's only been open for 30 years.
Yeah.
And this is the 30th anniversary, and we're doing it. I just thought about that.
Yeah.
It was, hey, that's weird. I just thought about that. So happy 30th anniversary, Jerome Grand
Yay.
Hotel. You should give us complimentary tickets so we can come stay there. But I mean, a very interesting place. And again, it's going to be very subjective on how you feel about the views and the rooms and all that. I like it. I think it looks really awesome, honestly.
I'm excited to
And
see
I
it.
love the old Spanish style building, and
Yeah.
it looks like something out of the Old West. I think it's really cool. But it's a lot of history.
Yeah.
Some things happened.
Some things.
Most impressive to
Lots.
me are that people's reviews on like TripAdvisor and other websites specifically coincide with claims that have happened there.
Yeah, they actually match up.
That is very impressive to me. So there's only one thing left to do.
Okay.
You don't seem confused enough yet, though.
I'm not.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Is it real?
So, Megan, when it comes to the Jerome Grand Hotel, which I keep tripping up on, it's killing me. Jerome Grand Hotel. There's a lot of stuff to pick from here.
There's
But
a lot.
It really comes down to, what do you think? Do you think this hotel is haunted?
I do. I
Okay.
do think this place is haunted.
That is the fastest you think something's haunted that I've ever heard.
There are so many
Excuse
things
me.
that surround this place. 9,000 deaths, a hospital, many things before the hospital
Alleged
was even
deaths.
there.
You got to just, you got to be accurate.
Yeah.
Alleged.
Sorry. So, all things that happened on the land before. I mean, this is just a culmination of everything that we talk about that makes things have the potential to be haunted.
Mhm.
It's all here.
Oh, yeah.
All of it. And then the stories aligning for the experiences that people have. And yes, absolutely yes on this one. So what about you?
Yeah. I
Okay.
think it's haunted. And I'm gonna say, for me, the strongest thing is the people's reviews that actually go hand in hand with the exact accounts that are
Mhm.
claimed to be here. That to me speaks louder than anything else,
Agreed.
because we often see things where they're just like nothing matches.
Mhm.
Everything seems out of left field, but this is way different. People are talking about the ghost cat.
Yeah.
And talking about things ending up on the center of the bed. And to me, I don't know, that says a lot. So I'm going to give it a yes, which means that this week it's going to get
The big old seal of approval.
All right. Yay.
if you want us skadoosh, you
Yay.
gotta listen to it over on the video. I don't know, I'll throw it in here too. But that's the Jerome Grand Hotel.
That was so
So
good.
if you're
I
around,
thoroughly enjoyed that.
so we say this about almost every location. If you've been there or you have an experience, write it into us.
Yeah.
I would love to hear your experience, because this place seems really, really amazing.
This probably quickly became one of my favorite episodes.
I
I really, really enjoyed this
would
place.
love to visit this hotel. And it just so happens, I mean, it's not close, but we don't live super far from it.
Yeah. So Lindsay and Mikey, thank you so much. Thank you for doing listener requests.
Thanks for giving my wife a reason to look this nice for me. But yeah, I guess that's going to be it.
That's so good.
You know, what a interesting play. I could have
Mhm.
made this super long. I'm sure I did not uncover all of the claims. Honestly, the internet. Just go look up this hotel and just start going through stuff. I When I looked up the reviews,
Mhm.
normally I have to dig and dig and dig and dig,
Right.
and not with this one.
They were just everywhere.
Not with this one. I didn't have to go to any other websites, anything.
Wow.
There were so many to pick from
Mm.
that, I mean, it was just so easy. This thing just wrote itself. You know, this episode just put itself together. So
Yay.
thank you, Jerome Grand Hotel, for giving me an easy week. I appreciate that.
Yay. Finally.
But where can they find us?
Well, they can find us on Instagram at @forthebooze_podcast and on Facebook at For the Booze.
That's right. And you can also find us on X at For the Booze, right here on YouTube at For the Booze, and over on TikTok at For the Booze. And one thing I want to add is this morning I decided to make our own Facebook group.
Yay.
So if you're interested and you just want to come over and have a place to, hang out and talk to us, or if you want to be able to suggest locations or episode ideas or anything involving the show, by all means, please come and join. It's a Facebook group, and I just named it For the Booze Podcast, so it's easy to find. And if any of our Patreons would like to be an admin, please let
us know.
But that and Patreon. Patreon.com
Patreon.
/For the Booze. We have to thank some folks. 4 people now.
4 Patreons.
That's right. We are going to thank Joe, the man Mattern. I don't know what to say. I'm just going to, first thing that comes to mind, Teresa, oh my gosh, O'Donnell. Thank you. Tina, help me out here.
No, this is you. This is your doing, not me.
This is
It's not me. You wanted to keep
Fine.
this going.
Tina, the magnificent Madot,
There you go.
and Jen, for now, I'm going to hit you with the decision maker level new member of the Patreon, Kim, because she joined the top tier, and we think you're top tier, so it makes sense. And I am.
Yes, thank you for joining us, and we will see you over there on Behind the Booze, where we do our
yeah.
extra episode.
Which we get to go record here in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to read your message that I already asked you to, and you said it was okay, from Byberry. She knows this place. I'm going to read it at the opening of the next episode.
Yay!
So make sure you come back for that, because it's very interesting. I think what she has to say is very interesting to me, because it says a lot about what we decided we thought about it at the end.
Okay.
So if you have a listener suggestion, if you have a listener story that you'd like us to read on here, or you just want to say, hey, what's up? I mean, if you want to hit on her, that's fine. She's mine, but you can do it. But send those into forthebooze12@gmail.com.
That's right.
And I think this is it. I think this is where we're going to end
I
it.
think that was everything.
So go ahead and take us out.
Well, thank you, everybody, so much for listening, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't sleep with your toes out from underneath the covers in room 32.
Very good. Thank
Great
you so much,
fucking
Steve
ouch.
Megan.
What the fuck?
That was a great podcast,
Oh my god.
folks. Beautiful couple as always, and For the Booze, and so much. Really, thank you. That really enhances the experience that myself and my beautiful wife Suzanne encountered there. So, thank you so much. Yes, there was a lot of history I knew, but then there was some that you revealed which I didn't know about, especially the 9,000 people who so-called died. Yeah, I didn't know about that. So that would make a lot of sense if if most of those 9,000 souls are at unrest and inhabiting the entire hotel, not only inside but on the outside. So Steve, Megan, thank you so much both, and thanks so much the wonderful partner over here, Silver, for allowing me to be up here for this special podcast from my state I lived in for
You're
all those
very
years in
welcome.
Arizona. And there are a lot of other haunted places, believe me, in Arizona that I showed Suzanne around too. Um, there's the El
Mm.
Tovar Lodge, which is there on the south rim of the Grand Canyon, where someone hung themselves at the edge of the canyon. There's some that have jumped off the Grand Canyon. Sedona has its portals. That's why it's called a new wave town. There are a lot of portals that can lead to different dimensions, different places, and you may not even
Mm.
know it. You might be driving into town and driving into a dusty road instead of a paved asphalt like we did. Horses with the Native Americans riding on top, couple of them. There is a haunted highway. Just one last thing I want to mention. There's a haunted highway called Highway 152, State Route 152 in California, which leads all the way from I-5 to Gilroy. And that entire place is haunted. We drove it. We saw things we can't explain. Just crazy things. But that is another area too that's worthy of exploring. Thank you, Lindsay, for suggesting. I'm glad that you agreed with me that this was definitely someplace they had to see for themselves and to do a podcast on. So thank you too, Lindsay, for that. That was appreciated. Um, Silver, do you have anything else left to say, hun? It's your show.
Well, first of all, I noticed you said that our other new video is up now too, and I saw
Okay.
that it's 38 minutes long. I don't
Okay.
have that 38 minutes long tonight, so I'm also trying to make a schedule for this channel.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's up to you guys whether or not if we should stick to only Mondays or if we should do Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Ooh, that'd be cool. Yeah,
It's
right
up
around
to
the
you
same
guys.
time.
I already posted it on this channel in the community section. Just go look for that or whatever. I also shared it on my main channel as well, so
Cool.
other people can see it. I don't know if I don't even know when is the actual first day I did or that I even created this fucking channel. Maybe I should take a look at that for a minute. Since I already like completely forgot about my main one. That's a oof on that. Let's see. Created this channel. Holy fuck, we're like a month. Jesus Christ, I really need to start looking at these things. Apparently, we are like a whole ass, almost a full month late.
Oh wow, cool.
With the anniversary of this channel. It's already been 2 years, so I think it's coming up as either a second year or a third year on this channel on Saturday, which I'm probably not gonna be here. So that's a fuck up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I gotta figure out what to do as far as the stream anniversary on the main channels. Cause I fucked that one up. But other than that, I will send you the link on Facebook for Matt in the Hat's sinning stream that he did last night. Which
Sounds
was
good.
amazing. So
Sounds good. I posted the Mikey Seuss Ford channel there in the chat. If you get a chance, check out our channel. Become our subscribers. We're only 9 away. We're at 191. We're only 9 away from 200. We do a lot of pop culture reviews through webcam on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Today I did another 2 episodes of Red Dwarf. We do 2 episodes of Secrets of Isis on Tuesdays, The Greatest American Hero on Wednesdays, and finally the A Team on Thursdays. And then on Fridays, we do what we call Mikey Sue's 4 Movie Mayhem. And last weekend, last Friday, we did a Deadpool and Wolverine movie, the latest one. It went really well. We had a good panel on board. We had 8 people, and we had some good chat. And we talked about the movie and where we think the MCU will go on from here. It was very informative. So please check that out. It is available right now on our channel. And later on this week, I'll be posting 2 polls in the community section. One, I'm going to ask you folks, do you want us to try and do uh, shows that back in the day they were examining the paranormal, things like that? So do you want us to do In Search of, which used to host Leonard Nimoy, who was Spock in Star Trek? Um, there's also Unsolved Mysteries. There's a lot of other ones that I've been wanting to do for a while. If you want us to
Mhm.
do mystery shows like that, let us know, yes or no. Also, um, yeah, I guess the only other thing I was going to ask was um, that what other show, and I'll just say, I guess, yeah, after one runs out, we're doing TOS, and then the other one that runs out, we'll be doing Get Smart. So those will be those for the future. And I guess what I'll say is now that we have this current schedule lasting us at least from now until the end of the year,
Mhm.
do you want us to continue the same schedule in 2025? So there will be a yes or a no question there in the poll for that. So. Otherwise, I
Okay.
know Silver has some
Um,
great content. Silver has great content too. She'll tell you about it. Go ahead, honey.
I do. I do want to also point out that yesterday was the first day for the Trusty Ape Band that went on stage after God knows how long. I got word this morning, or earlier rather, from Ape of how it went. He said that it went really well and that he's really proud of his band. They were there from 12 to 7. So they did really, really well and they really enjoyed
Really
it.
happy for
So
him. Kevin,
I'm
thumbs up
really,
to you on
really
that.
glad about that too because I know it's been quite a long time since he's been
Forever.
on stage.
He told us that, yeah. And he's from the Bay Area
Yeah,
too, folks. Kevin is a good friend of both of us. And
he is.
I love being on a part of his shows and talks and things and chat. And he has a lot of great, interesting subjects. So yes, check him out. He's the Trusty Ape. It's very easy to find him. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I just cannot figure out why the fuck no matter who I meet, their name is Kevin. I know too many Kevins. God,
And
so
I thought
weird.
my name Mike, and I thought my name Michael or Mikey was like numerous. I thought we were more numerous
No,
than Kevin's.
it's more likely
That I need a
Kevin.
Mike. Yeah,
It,
exactly.
it's Kevin or it's like fucking there's a lot more of, well, I'm not gonna say my actual name, but
Uh,
there's a lot more people with my actual name
yes.
around. So it's like, what the fuck? Um
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, there's that. I will have to figure out about a anniversary stream for this channel. Maybe a day before or the day after the anniversary because, like I said, probably not going to be home on the day of its anniversary.
Right.
Um, I still got to figure out for the fucking main channel. So, I'll keep y'all in touch. If you have my main channel, definitely will keep you in touch. If you have my Discord, or if I have other info on you anywhere else. Um, I don't really use Instagram and I don't really much use Twitter, but
Yeah. I'm
yeah,
not a big X fan. I'm not an X guy there. If you do try to reach me, you can always reach us on YouTube. You can always reach me through Facebook if you become a friend of mine, and Suzanne's there.
yeah.
And on X, if you want to send us any information, it's under @4Suze _Suze there. So on X. So if you want to send us anything, or if you want to follow us, just go there and follow us on that chat. So on
Yeah.
behalf of Mikey and behalf of Miss Silver, who is Viking Silverwolf on Facebook, thank you everyone for coming. Thank you, Steve, for being here with yourself and Megan to watch this wonderful podcast. And we hope we get to do this again with all of you next time. So
I hope that they actually do, or we do have them come up on panel for, I don't know, I think he said he wants to make fun of himself.
I hope he does, Steve. There's your invite. You're invited to the next time you want to make fun of your own podcast.
Yep.
And
Yep.
we would love to have you. And if anybody else is also involved with paranormal experiences or any other supernatural instances, please put it down in the comments section there for Miss Silver. And you can also send me information to my community channel there, Mikey Sue's for, and let us know your experiences. And we could use those experiences as suggestions and requests to Mr. Steve and Miss Megan the next time they do another For the Booze podcast. So,
Mm.
so
Yeah, in case if anyone's wondering why I don't have really much of social media for this channel, is because, I mean, I do have a Twitch, but I'm trying to figure that one out. It's been fucking God knows how long. But I don't have a Facebook, I don't have a Discord, or I kind of do, but I haven't used it. And I kind of really don't have Twitter for the Ghost Channel. So if any of you that have information on me that you know, you can hit me up through my main channel, whatever, you already know. You can always send me a message through there. So there you go. Other than that, I'll see you guys next time.
peace.